So we try to do videos on the history of fashion items that are kind of having like a moment. And against all odds, one of those things right now is fanny packs. Fanny packs have been a thing for 5,000 years, and they weren't always the butt of a joke. That was a pun about fanny packs. Oh god, this video is going to be terrible. For centuries, they were simply the practical alternative to bags. Thanks to a glacial mummy found in the Italian Alps from 5,000 years ago, we know that bags have been worn around the waist for at least that long. Ötzi the Iceman's proto-fanny pack contained an assortment of primitive tools, which is pretty similar to how cultures all around the globe used them. Archaeologists have found hip bags worn by ancient Egyptians, ancient Romans carried coins in leather drawstring sacks strung from their belts, Native Americans wore beaded buffalo hide pouches. In the Middle Ages, the accessories took a religious turn, with men and women carrying aumônières, or alms purses, filled with religious reliquaries, prayer beads, and change to give to the poor. One of the predecessors to the fanny pack was the Victorian chatelaine, so named after the women that held the keys to the castle. It looked sort of like a tool belt, but fancy. The real one came in 1951, when we get the first documentation of the word bum bag in the UK. It was used as slang for the pouch worn by skiers. But by the 60s, American Ski Patrol had tweaked this to fanny belt, presumably to mortify their British counterparts. I'll let Keith from the British office explain.
Out there, they call them fanny packs. Because fanny means your arse over there, not your minge.
Their real moment of glory as a fashion accessory didn't come until 1988. They were the perfect complement to spandex and mom jeans, and Adweek named them the hottest product of the year. Soon after, high fashion caught on. Claudia Schiffer wore one in a 1992 Chanel campaign. Even Vogue gave it seal of approval. That's not to say that no one realized that they looked a little dorky. Even Jerry Seinfeld, not the most fashion-forward of characters, made fun of them.
You don't think it might have had anything to do with that?
Well, you don't like this?
Looks like your belt is digesting a small animal.
And Liz Lemon's was a sign of her impending personal crisis.
Hang on, why do you have a cat? And a fanny pack? And your ponytail? It's being held up by a chip clip.
Because I'm giving up, Jenna.
But despite the fact that for most of the last 2 decades, they've been associated with dads getting lost on vacation while opening up comically large maps, surprise, they're cool again. Part of that might just be because everyone's nostalgic for the 90s at the moment. But another explanation is that there are actually a lot of super cool fanny packs out there right now. That's thanks to new labels like New York City-based Aja, making belt bags that actually look a lot like the earliest fanny packs in history. Obviously, I had to go check them out myself.
When you initially think of a fanny pack, you think of your mom in 1990 going to Disneyland. Definitely changing the narrative, bringing it up to date, and also thinking about it in more of like a luxury way.
So yeah, even though they have a fancy new name and look way cooler than anything your parents wore in the 90s, fanny packs are back. One person who has worn a fanny pack regardless of whether they were cool or not, of course, is Sarah Jessica Parker. She wore one in a 2001 episode of Sex and the City when they were already considered pretty uncool, and again in 2014. Which makes her actually way ahead of the curve, as usual. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, whatever, and tell me what you want to hear the history of next.